All right, lads, welcome to Toronto.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you.
As a welcome gift, I know you guys drink this quite a lot, but this is some Ontario.
Jackson trees.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
You can take it right out of there. That'd be good, yeah.
And these always are good because when you finish it, it's a pillow as well.
Yeah.
Blow it up with
I pinned one up on someone's wall once in a house party in Melbourne. So I'm Alex. I work for CJRU AM in Toronto, and we're here with Dune Rats. So what is it about that experience that you're trying to convey? Like, what are the kind of key aspects of that you want to get across in your songwriting?
Early on, was smoking bongs.
You want to convey that.
Yeah. What else is there other than smoking bongs? Fart jokes. Fast jokes.
What's your best fart joke?
What smells?
What smells funny?
What?
Clown poo.
What?
Clown poo.
Clown poo?
It's a cracker, right? There's a fart in there. You gotta fart to poo.
Yeah. No, it's a little bit of both.
It's air.
Yeah.
We've been telling a lot of jokes lately.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's this Facebook group. And I'm going to get to more of this later, but since we're talking jokes, I put a question in the it's called Dune Rats Bong Posting, and I put a question in the Facebook group just saying, send me Dune Rats questions, and one of them said, give us your favorite joke, and all answer at once.
Okay.
So feel free to go off.
Use that one. Favorite joke. Well, there's a guy, one we had last night that we all thought was pretty funny.
It's a great one.
Yeah. Guy walks into a bar.
A duck.
Walks into a bar, says to the bartender, do you have any grapes? And he says, no, I don't have any fucking grapes. It's a bar. And he goes, okay, and leaves. The next day he comes back and walks into the bar and he goes, hey mate. And he goes, you again? And he goes, yeah, do you have any grapes? And he says, no, I don't have any grapes. So he walks back out. He walks back in the next day and he says, hey mate, how you going? And he's like, fuck you again. And he's like, hey, just wondering if you have any grapes. He says, mate, if you come back in here and ask for grapes one more time, I'm going to fucking get some nails and I'll hammer your beak to that wall. He goes, oh, and he leaves. The next day he walks in and says, hey mate, you got any nails? And he says, no. And he goes, well, you got any grapes?
That's smart. I like it. I like it a lot. So you said like at the beginning of things, you're writing about smoking weed and stuff, but your newer stuff seems like a bit of a departure. It almost sounds a bit more, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but a bit more Sum 41 influence. It's got a bit more of a kind of poppy feel to it. So how has the songwriting evolved, and how has sort of what you're trying to convey of your life experiences evolved, especially on this latest record?
What do you reckon?
Alright, there's still a bunch more other songs that you haven't heard that are
But a
probably
bit.
changed
Okay.
up around.
But
All right. Yeah, fair enough. Right?
Mike Green, who did this album, does a lot of writing and production for Sum 41.
Okay, cool.
So there's the link there when we were like, oh, who do we want to do this next one with? Like, you never want to. We've just sort of always been building in production as well. Like
Right.
a lot of the early stuff was very like simple production, and like.
Well, you worked with Zach Harper as well, right?
On the last one, yep.
Yeah.
So it was cool working with Zach, and it was this one we sort of more did it all ourselves and then went in and recorded. Whereas
Right.
last time, we were with Zach from a pretty early stage of it and did the whole thing. So I think it's just like, shitty as it sounds, just growing a bit and
Clever,
just writing bangers, dude.
Well, you've got these little kind of like, I think there's 2 lines in No Plans where you say like, do you guys do covers or just do originals? And then like, I can play guitar, I can play Jack Johnson. Where does that come from? Because that cracked me up when I first heard it.
It's just like the questions people say.
Really?
We say it like at Christmas, your family, your uncle or auntie,
Just trying to make sense of it. Yeah.
trying to make sense of why you're fucking still playing in a band and.
Yeah, but they must see it, right? Like, I mean, they see the videos of you guys playing Splendor and shit.
Yeah,
like that's
early on though, they just they get a bit disheartened that you play originals, not covers,
Yeah,
like,
right.
and stuff.
Because then they can't come dance.
Yeah, exactly. And then like cover bands make money.
Yeah. Well, so something that I mentioned is there's this Facebook group called Dune Rats Bong Posting, and it's
my partner's mum actually follows it.
No way.
Yeah, it's really
So
funny.
you guys
She's
are
actually
probably-
more up to date with Quinton's activity.
right. So you guys have probably seen some of these, but what I thought we could do, like I said, I asked them some questions, and there were sort of two that sort of stuck out to me as being memorable. The first, since we're already on the topic, is the new sound here to stay?
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you said, it's evolution, right?
We've got some other songs written for the next one that
Yeah.
are already done that are probably different sounding.
Right.
So we'd say no.
Cool. All right. And the second one is, Brett, what does your gooch taste like? That's not me asking, by the way. That's a
Fungus.
fungus.
And salty nurries.
All right. So then the last thing that I want to do, my favorite thing about this group is the memes that people post. So I want to give you guys a chance to respond to some of these and perhaps tell me each of your favorites, if that's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's also a little surprise in it for you. So this one's one of them, as you alluded to.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know where that surfboard ended up though.
Yeah. Talk to me about your big balls.
I don't know, just God bless me with big balls and a real tiny dick.
All right. Here's the next one. Obviously,
Trolls are the
you
best.
trying to remember if to do me smoke weed. Thinking real hard.
I don't actually smoke weed.
Yeah.
It's sorrow.
And you mentioned Triple J, so there's this as well.
That's pretty accurate for this shit.
Yeah, I would have thought
He's
so.
just ripping a bug. Is he? Yeah, a little.
That was
Yeah, doing a
Something.
dab. He's doing something. But yeah, dude, Trolls are like, weirdly enough, when our last album was coming out, it was a race between us and Trolls, the soundtrack, to
Right.
get number one.
Yeah.
So
Like Trolls from the movie.
yeah, the movie soundtrack. And
But you guys got it.
We beat Trolls. So take that, fucking Trolls.
All right. So the last one is the first time I ever saw you guys live was in Montreal when you were opening for Fiddlar, and I've been hooked on you guys ever since. But somehow that night you ended up at my buddy Evan's place, and he wanted me to specifically show you guys this wonderful little picture of you passed out. I think this was in his bed because he came home from the gig and didn't know that you were there.
Puncture, dude. Yeah, look at that. Smart. You had a job interview that day.
So that one's for you.
I think I woke up soon trying to finger my ass.
Yeah, no, he was very, very keen.
It's
to-
his
so-
bed, man.
All right, so guys,
Law in Canada if you're asleep. So
yeah, no, we got it. That's how we do it.
shout out to Canada.
We do it really well, really well. All right, guys. So thanks a million. Do you have any final
Thanks so
thoughts?
much,
Any
dude.
final thoughts for Canada, for Toronto?
It's just awesome to come here. We always play 6 shows, so psyched for tonight.
Yeah,
It's going to
yeah.
be a fucking good one.
Yeah, right on. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.